That all down. Let's move on to this, shall we? You know, the world is divided into two separate groups of people. Those who like new Star Trek and those who do not. I'm a little bit in the middle, but I lean more towards that I do like it. Like Discovery has been hit and miss. I'm not really a fan of their below deck stuff or whatever. But I'll tell you what, Star Trek Strange New Worlds, I think is the best Star Trek thing we've had since The Next Generation. That show's fabulous. But I like the Chris Pine Star Trek movies. The second one was a little weaker, yes, but I really liked the first one, and I loved the third one. And I, as a matter of fact, spent an entire year and a half before that first Chris Pine Star Trek movie came out, crap talking the whole thing. Said, this is stupid. Why make another movie? This is a dead franchise. Nobody cares. Like, Star Trek fans are literally dying off. Every week, they are literally dying in the hospice centers because it's a 75-year-old, 150-year-old franchise that never garnered new fans after The Next Generation. But then that movie came out, and I really liked it. Had a good time. Anyway, there's been a lot of talk about the possibility of them doing another Star Trek movie with that cast. There's been some positive news, some negative news. Where are things at? Well, now Chris Pine, speaking at a comic convention this weekend, he has come out and said he's really excited about the idea of doing another one. This comes to us from the Popverse, who write this. In terms of the next phase of Star Trek, obviously, you're all fans. This is Chris Pine speaking. You're all fans, so I'm sure you've read it, Pine said. This is a reference to reports that Pine and his classmates, or castmates, I should say, would return for an untitled Star Trek sequel set in the franchise's Kelvin timeline. The project has been in development hell for years, and Pine's involvement has shifted depending on various factors. However, the star said he really wants to work with this Trek cast again. We all like one another a lot. I'm good friends with everybody I've worked with. We have a great time doing it. I'm a lot older now, so I would be curious where the next story lands us in terms of what it would be and what we've said in the press. Now, Chris Pine, as it points out, he was a baby. He was 29 years old when they made that first one. He's now 43. His career has grown. By the way, if you still have not seen Chris Pine's Dungeons and Dragons movie, what are you doing? It's really fun. It's a really good little movie that deserved much better, and Chris Pine was great in it. You should go check it out. So it comes back to this. Now, Star Trek's gone through a lot of stuff, right? All the shows coming and going. Remember, there was a Quentin Tarantino Star Trek movie they were going to do?
Supposed to happen.
All that excitement. Like, Tarantino said he was going to do one. Then that kind of went away as well. Some people didn't like the idea of Tarantino doing Star Trek. I did. I thought it would have been really fun. But with all the stuff talking about like 100 years before the events of Star Trek, all this stuff, what I really want, what I really, really want, to channel my inner Spice Girl, is to see this cast back together again. I really like this cast. Granted, you tragically have to do it without Chekhov.
Right.
That's fine. I still think they should recast him.
Yeah,
I still think they should recast him, but the whole cast has said they won't recast the character, which I think is unfortunate, but whatever. I would really like to see this. And you know what? I think it can do pretty well, as long as they don't make it for $200 million.
Right.
Like, you make this thing for, like, what did Kevin Costner make Horizon for again? 100 million?
About 350 million. It's going to bring in about 2 million. So
yeah, no, but if you make it for about 100 million,
yeah,
bring it for about 100 million. And I think this movie could do okay.
Well, he mentions playing an older Captain Kirk.
Yeah.
Would that change the actual dynamic of the movies that they've been? Because Rob has mentioned the newer movies. They're a lot more action than
they're more modern movies.
Right,
yeah.
right. Do you think that would his playing an older Captain
I think
Kirk
it'd be
would actually
great.
change that
Maybe
that aspect of the film?
Maybe.
I think he's young enough that he still pulls that off, though.
Oh yeah, he's definitely. I mean, he's
not an
43.
old man.
I mean, he's still young.
Yeah.
But I mean, but yeah, I think it does offer them the opportunity, with them getting a little older, a little wiser, that he's not just the young hotshot captain now. He's a little bit more seasoned as a Captain Kirk.
Yeah.
But I don't think you go all the way back to the 1960s Star Trek. I think you, though, move it a little bit more towards the center, where you involve a little bit more philosophy, a little bit. Listen, the original Star Trek is loaded with politics, pop culture stuff, and and philosophy. There's a lot of it in all the original Star Trek stuff. And I think maybe they need to swing the pendulum a little bit away from just the pure modern action sci-fi flick to 60% that and maybe 40% more like deeper thinking man sci-fi sort of stuff.
Yeah,
maybe.
It's got to, because even like in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan with Shatner,
yes,
he's not even at that age yet, because Shatner was in that movie questioning his age, right? Kirk was like, am I getting too old for this? You know what I mean? Like he was in his 50s, so you know what I mean?
You know how old William Shatner, Captain Kirk, was in the first Star Trek movie?
How?
48.
Yeah.
He was already 48.
So he was already like questioning his midlife crisis. Already. Pine's not there yet. Pine's got another.
No, Pine won't be there yet.
Yeah.
Didn't one of the trailers of these newer Star Trek films have Beastie Boys? As
yes. Stupid idea.
The first one.
So no.
No, it was the third one.
Star Trek 4.
Oh, I'm thinking of the trailer for the first one.
Oh yeah, the trailer.
Yeah,
was it in the trailer or in the movie?
Well, it was in both. See, because once I saw the movie, right? Then, because they say, oh, I'm going to play one of the old classics, classical music. And they played Beastie Boys. Then it made sense for the trailer. But in the trailer, it made no sense because it didn't feel like a Star Trek movie. Remember Scott Mance was talking about that in my documentary. He goes, that's the problem with that, playing that Beastie Boys song in that Star Trek trailer, was that it just made it not feel like a Star Trek movie at all.
Yeah.
And he was right. It was a bad mistake. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Miracle Made. Did you know that your temperature at night can have one of the greatest impacts on your sleep quality? If you wake up too hot or too cold, I highly recommend you check out Miracle Made's bed sheets. Inspired by NASA, Miracle Made uses silver-infused fabrics and makes temperature-regulating bedding so that you can sleep at the perfect temperature all night long. When they arrived at our house, my wife Ann loved the feel of them so much, she couldn't even wait for me to get home to put them on our bed. Miracle Made has self-cleaning. These sheets are infused with silver that prevents up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, leaving them to stay cleaner and fresh 3 times longer than other sheets. Miracle Sheets also have incredible comfort and quality. Miracle Sheets are luxuriously comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands and feel as nice, if not nicer, than sheets used by some 5-star hotels. So go to TryMiracle, that's TryMiracle.com/Campea to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our promo code Campea at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you will get a full refund. So upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to TryMiracle.com/Campea and use the code Campea to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's TryMiracle.com/Campea to treat yourself. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? You got any interest in seeing a new Star Trek movie with Chris Pine and crew? I'm down for it. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.